So you've just been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Now what? What are you supposed to do? Howdy, my name's Boster. I'm an MS neurologist in Columbus, Ohio, and in this video, I'm gonna give you the dragnet, just the facts. What do you need to do to live your best life despite having MS? Don't turn away, because all of that starts right now. Howdy! Thanks for learning about MS with me, Boster. In this video, I want to share with you the down and dirty, what do we need to do to live our best lives despite having MS? Cutting through all the jibber jabber, let's get down to brass tacks, things that I want you to do to live your very best life despite having this condition. Grab paper and pencil and let's jump in. Number one, and arguably the most important, is I need you to cultivate a sense of self-advocacy. Being a self-advocate is practicing saying, hey, I've got something going on, I need you to help me out. More specifically, if you have a new neurological symptom, something that's stuck around for longer than a 24-hour period, I want you to call your doctor's office. Tell your neurologist that you have a new neurologic symptom, it's been going on for longer than a day, and you need to be seen. We're gonna need to do a workup to make sure that you don't have an infection and to figure out whether or not you may have an attack. Now, if you have an attack, your clinician will guide you through taking steroids to get you better faster. Similarly, I need you to be a good self-advocate as it relates to symptoms that suck. If you have a bladder problem, I want you to tell your doc, hey, I got a bladder problem. If you're having difficulty with mood and feeling sad and blue, I want you to say, hey, I'm feeling sad and blue. I need you to cultivate a sense of self-advocacy because you're a you expert. You know more about you than any other human. And I want you to bring to bear things that are important so that your clinical team can help you. Number two, I need you to not smoke stuff. Smoking doubles the risk to develop MS, which is insane. And what's even more insane is that if you already have MS and you smoke, you can speed up the disease twice as fast, which is bad news bears. Now, the good news is if you quit smoking, you slow it back down. So if you've been diagnosed with MS and you're struggling with smoking cigarettes, reach out to your clinician so that we can help you. It's also important to consider any other cardiovascular risk factor. So if you are morbidly obese, if you have uncontrolled diabetes, if you have untreated high blood pressure or high cholesterol, all of those things can make the arteries of the brain get harder faster. It can make the brain shrink faster and ultimately lead to faster neurological disability. So if we're gonna live our best lives despite having MS, we need to control these cardiovascular risk factors. Real quick before we move on, if you found some value in this video, do me a solid favor and give the video a thumbs up. Thank you. Number three, I need you to exercise as part of your lifestyle. People impacted by MS who exercise accrue less neurological disability over the course of their life, which is a really, really big deal. People who exercise have better control of headaches, of depression, of anxiety, of fatigue. People who exercise as part of their lifestyle have better bowel and bladder control. They fall less often. You're getting the point. If we want to live our best life despite having MS, we must cultivate a lifestyle of exercise. Now look, if you're not an exerciser, I'm not asking you to become an MMA professional fighter. I'm not asking you to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. I'm not asking you to run a marathon. I am asking you to seek out some movement where a couple times a week you're putting on your cute shoes and your Lululemon and you're going out and you're going for a walk, or you're doing a yoga DVD, or you're involved in water aerobics. Some form of activity as part of your lifestyle is going to be key to living with MS. Number four is I need you to eat smart. Now let's be honest. It's a silly fool who thinks that what you eat doesn't impact your health, because it absolutely does. And that's true in the setting of multiple sclerosis as well. For starters, I want us to up our water game. I really need you to focus on trying to increase water intake. For starters, let's drink a large glass of water with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then a glass of water between breakfast and lunch, and a glass of water between lunch and dinner. If those are 20-ounce glasses, we've now hit our 100 ounces a day, and we're in there like swimwear, upping our water game. The second thing that I want you to do is to supplement low levels of vitamin D. So I practice in sunny Columbus, Ohio, where it's not actually very sunny at all. And that's how we get vitamin D naturally, through a chemical reaction in the skin from the sun. Given that we don't have a lot of sun, I encourage my patients to supplement their vitamin D3 by taking a pill once a day. So increasing your water game and upping your vitamin D are the first two steps in eating smart. The next one gets really, really hard, and it involves avoiding heavily processed foods, fried foods, sugar-laden foods, fast foods, diet foods, and any food with ingredients that you can't pronounce, because that's not an ingredient, that's not a food, that's a chemical, and I don't want you to eat that. If you adhere to these rather difficult lifestyle suggestions, what you'll find is that your MS symptoms abate. Many of your MS symptoms will become more easy to manage, particularly mood and energy. If you don't believe me, try it out. Number 5 is the daily practice of mindfulness. Now, mindfulness is defined as being in the present moment without prejudice, meaning I'm participating in an activity and I'm not worried about what may happen tomorrow. I'm not worried about what happened yesterday. I'm just concentrating on the activity. I like to joke that if you're having sex and you're thinking about work, you're doing it wrong. Mindfulness is an outstanding way of cultivating a lifestyle of stress management. Mindfulness can help you deal with stressful times. The reality is that stress worsens multiple sclerosis. It literally makes the disease worse. And I hate it when doctors say, oh, honey, just remove the stress, as if you could cut it out. You can't, but you can learn to manage it. So practicing mindfulness, just 5 or 10 minutes every day, is a great way of doing that. Mindfulness can be done lots of different ways. You could meditate, you can go for a walk in the woods, you could do yoga, you could do a breathing exercise. Find something that you don't dislike and practice doing it 5 minutes every day. Very important. Number 6 is to take the most effective disease-modifying therapy that you're comfortable taking and make sure that it's working. Now, this is where you're going to have to liaise with your neurologist, because they're going to have to help educate you about the different disease-modifying therapies so that you can figure out what's effective and what am I comfortable taking. Once you're on a DMT, we then need to make sure it's working. How do we do that? We listen to see if you're failing the litmus test of life, God forbid, to make sure that you're not having MS attacks. We examine you, what I like to refer to as the MS Olympics, to see if your neurological exam is changing for the worse or if it's staying stable. And we get MRIs of the brain and spinal cord to look for new structural damage. This is the way that we can make sure that we can keep on keeping on and that your disease-modifying therapy is working. Having MS can be downright scary, but you don't have to have it by yourself. You have MS with your village, and I would like to be one of your village members. Today, I've laid out for you what I call Dragnet, just the facts, 6 things that I need you to be doing every single day to help you live your best life despite having MS. Now, if you'd like to up your game and keep learning about multiple sclerosis, please click the video that's on your screen right now. And until my next Monday morning video or my next monthly live stream, or even better yet, the next time I see you at the Boster Center for MS, this is Aaron Boster saying be safe and take care.